So now we are coming to chapter number 3, concept of constitution. So what is a constitution? A constitution refers to a set of principles which specify the organization and working of the government and the relationship between the government and the people in terms of duties and rights. So that is constitution. And further, the Constitution is classified into evolved and enacted. So, what is evolved? It's the outcome of a slow and gradual evolutionary process, like the British Constitution. So, it's very slow, and there are, evolutionary process amongst the stages of its development. And enacted, it is made by a constituent assembly or promulgated by a king or a parliament. So for India, it's made by the constituent assembly. So India has the enacted type of constitution. And then there is written and unwritten. The provisions, everything, the set of rules and regulations of in which is included in the constitution is, it's contained in the form of a book or a document or a series of documents. It can be, okay, it can be in the form of a book or a document or a series of documents. So I think this would be important for your MCQ. For your MCQ, it can be important for your MCQs. Be it UPSC or your SSC, it can be important for both because you may, it can make you, uh, clueless, thinking there isn't in the form of a book or a document or it's a series of documents. You would you would have problem finding the right answer. So just remind yourself it's in the form of a book or a document or a series of documents. And then there is unwritten document, which most of the provisions are not incorporated in the form of a book or document or a series of documents. So they're not written in a book or a document or a series of documents. So like example, UK, New Zealand, Israel, etc. Then there is rigid and flexible. So rigid cannot be amended in a same manner as the ordinary laws. It requires special procedure for its amendment. So for rigid type of constitution, you cannot amend this law like how we amend the ordinary laws. Like it takes a special procedure if you want to amend, if you want to make a law. So the law of the US, Australia, Switzerland, they are rigid and flexible. Like they can just make law just like they make the ordinary law. They can make any law just like they make the ordinary law. And then comes the uh, India's. So what is the type of you know constitution for India? But when it comes to India, India's constitution is neither rigid nor flexible, but it is the combination of both. So India acts like sometimes it has a flexible type, sometimes it has a rigid type. So we work under these two. And then comes the federal and unitary, the division of power between the national government and the regional government. This is called federal. So you have division of powers, like the center is not the lone authority, does not have the authority over the states, if the states have their own authorities. So like the US, Australia, Canada. And when it comes to unitary, the concentration of power in the hands of the national government. So the national government has the whole authority over every part of the country. So example, UK, France, China, Japan, Italy. But when it comes to India, India contains both federal provisions as well as unitary provisions. So that is why India is described as a quasi-federal by Casey Ware. Now, this difference between constitution and constitutionalism. This is very important for your mains, like it can be asked in your mains. So make sure that you understand the difference between constitution and constitutionalism. So the concepts of constitution and constitutionalism are closely related to each other, but there are few differences between them. A country may have the constitution but not necessarily constitutionalism, because constitutionalism recognizes the need for governments with power but at the same time insists that limitations should be placed on those powers. So that means the um, for constitutionalism it's always related with limitations, but constitution, every country can have a constitution because it's just a book containing laws, the provisions, the rights, the duties of the citizens, and also the the how the authorities can have should have to function. Everything is being written in the constitution, just like here it's written here. Constitution is a set of principles which works on the work of the government, relationship between the government and the people, and how the rights and duties, everything that is related is being written on the constitution. But that doesn't mean that a country can have a constitutionalism just because they have a constitution, because they can have a constitution, but constitutionalism means the government may have the power, but there must be some limitations placed on that power. So unlimited power may lead to authoritarian or oppressive government, which jeopardizes or which put risk to the freedom of the people. So that's what constitutionalism means. And constitutionalism desires a political order in which the power of the government are limited, and they have limitations in the power. Authoritative or the arbitrary power in the hands of any individuals or the institution, even if conferred by a constitutional document, is a negation of the concept of constitutionalism. So that doesn't, it's a threat to the constitutionalism. The real justification of the Constitution find place in having a limited government and of requiring those who govern to conform to laws and rules. So that is the constitutionalism, means having a limited government and of requiring those who govern to conform to laws and rules and regulations. So what I must say is that this chapter is indeed important, and it's important for the main section, and some part it can be used for the prelims. So I hope you find it useful. So thank you so much.